Well, not really.
Okay, so my question is...
You are seeing the channel's body, you're not seeing mine.
Very true. Numbers.
Numbers, vibrations,
Exactly.
proportions, ratios.
What brought me here?
Yes.
I see them all the time.
Yes. It's your synchronistic markers.
What do they mean?
They let you know when you are in the appropriate vibration of your true self. They're like road signs, a road map.
Okay.
You're using them as markers to let yourself know you are still on the vibrational path that you prefer to be on at that moment. At that moment. Thus, then, the idea is that whatever the vibration feels like at that moment, that's the vibration to explore. That's where the information lies that you need. Yes?
Yes.
All right. Does that answer your question? It's not a big mystery, you know.
To a degree.
Yes.
So after I started listening to your videos,
Yes.
Connecting more to my higher self,
Yes.
listening more,
Yes.
how can I connect more to that physically?
Well, are you following the entire formula for acting on your highest joy?
I am, until I have that arrow in the unexpected direction.
Then why isn't that included in the definition of your joy? Why is that made to be an exception?
It's not that it's an exception, it's just that it throws me off.
So what?
You're right, so what?
Isn't that part of the idea of having surprises in life? You don't want your life to be boring, right?
Definitely not.
Well, then welcome the unexpected direction changes. That's what it's all about. Yes?
Yes.
Well, then include it in the definition of your joy, because you are making it an exception, or it wouldn't throw you off. You would recognize it as a change of direction that serves you. You wouldn't have a question about it at all if you weren't defining it in some way as something different from your joy. You're saying it doesn't belong there somehow, but it does.
Okay. It's just that when I'm led by my emotions,
Yes.
it throws me off, and then
But your emotions are there to get in touch with what beliefs generate them. Remember, belief comes first. You cannot have an emotion without believing something to be true first. So if you're having a certain emotion, it's telling you you have a belief that generated this. If you don't prefer the feeling and you don't prefer the belief, find out what you would have to believe is true about yourself in that circumstance in order to generate that feeling. Then change that belief if you don't prefer it.
Okay.
So use the emotion to find out what the belief is.
Okay, I've been working on that.
Well, all right. Then how long will you continue to work on it as opposed to simply using it?
I have used it.
Now and then, yes, but obviously there are times when you don't, or we wouldn't be having this conversation.
You're right.
I know, that's why I said it. So it's only about the times you don't do that we're focused on, yes?
Yes.
So find out why you're making a difference between the times you use it and the times you don't. Because that's the only reason you don't use it all the time, is because in your definitional belief system, you're making a difference between this situation and that situation.
Okay. Manifestation.
Manifestation is simply the recognition, the ability to see, the ability to perceive what was heretofore invisible to you, but has always been here.
Yes.
And so?
And so I visualize.
Yes. And?
To become that frequency.
And?
And it doesn't always happen.
Congratulations. Remember when I asked you if you were using the entire formula of excitement? You said yes,
right.
But you just said no.
Okay.
Do you remember the entire formula? This goes for visualization as well. Would you like us to repeat it?
Yes.
Is everyone paying attention? Yes. Act on your highest excitement, every moment that you can, to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you can until you can take it no further. Are you paying attention?
Yes.
With zero assumption, insistence, or expectation as to what the outcome ought to be. Zero.
How do you let go of those expectations?
I'll tell you, thank you. You let go of the expectations by understanding that whatever your physical mind is capable of expecting, or whatever your physical mind is capable of visualizing as an outcome, falls way short of what your higher mind could actually bring to you. So when you understand that by simply adhering and insisting on the physical mind's interpretation that you're actually limiting the outcome, maybe then you'll stop doing that.
I'll keep telling myself that.
When you believe it, things will change.
I believe it.
Then things will change. Not because you need them to. Remember, you have to decide to be happy for its own sake. You can't decide to be happy because you'll get this if you do. That's called expecting an outcome. That's called putting a condition on it. You're happy because that's the state you prefer, and you don't care what happens. Because whatever happens, by definition, when you're in a positive state, must still serve you in a positive way. So it doesn't matter what happens. Because you understand that the true proof of change is not that the outside world changes. The true proof of change is that you respond differently even if the outside world stays the same. That's how you prove you've changed. And when you prove you have changed, then the outside world knows it's true and will reflect the change. But if you change in order to get the outside effect, you haven't changed because you're still doing it externally instead of internally. And therefore, if you're still doing it with the condition that if you change, the outside must change, the outside reflection knows you haven't changed, and therefore it doesn't.
Okay, can you recap? Just to the part where you're saying that you have to change for yourself and not for the expectation.
There is no other reason to be happy other than that's the state you prefer.
Okay.
Don't create any other reason.
Okay.
And when you don't create other reasons, then everything that is reflective of that happiness will appear in your life. But not because you need it to, because you don't care, because you have simply chosen to be happy for no other reason than that's what you prefer.
Okay,
It's again
No,
like the idea of looking in a mirror and seeing your reflection frown. If you sit there and go, I will smile when you smile first, you're going to be standing there for a long, long, long time. But if you say to the reflection, you know what, I don't care if you smile back, I'm going to smile because that's what I prefer. Well, then what happens in the reflection? It smiles back because it doesn't have a choice but to reflect what you truly are for its own sake. Not because you need the reflection to smile back, just because you feel like smiling. Yes?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, lucidity and dreams.
Dreams.
Yes, dreams.
What about them?
Okay, is there a permission slip to gain more lucidity into my dreams?
Absolutely.
Tell me.
Well, there are many ways to go about it. One technology permission slip that has now been invented on your planet is what is called an REM mask. You wear it while you're sleeping. It generates a flash of light in such a way as to remind you, because the light enters the dream and the light reminds you that you're dreaming. So then if you allow yourself to remember that that's what the light means, you'll wake up in the dream. You'll be lucid. And at that moment, you can actually send a signal back to the mask to stop flashing so it doesn't interrupt you. So, look it up. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, one more. Now one more. Okay. Okay, can you tell me about the energy centers in the chakras?
Yes, I can, but not now.
Okay. Fine.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Hello, Bashar.
And you good day.
So earlier this year, I had the experience where I was laying in my bed
Oh, how exciting.
and feeling like there was a distinct presence at the foot of my bed
A distinct presence.
that was sort of swaying me back and forth to where I was sort of being pulled out of my body. That's what it felt like. And that's when my mind started traveling to other places and I was experiencing other things.
All right, well, so far this all sounds pretty normal.
And every time I would come back into my body, I'd go back out again. But the last time, it felt like I was being pinned down.
Yes.
And that became very scary for me.
Oh,
so I
all
tried
right.
to wake myself up.
Yes,
Can
and?
you help me understand what?
Well, there are
that's
many
about?
things that can be going on there. If you are, in that sense, actually allowing yourself to shift out into other dimensions, sometimes the idea is that when you want to stop doing that, you have to throw a switch in the amygdala of your brain to paralyze your body. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because then you are, in some senses, forcing yourself to remain in one particular modality, one particular frequency. Now, there are beings that know how to do this when taking you from one dimension to another, and it can feel like you're being pinned down, so to speak. But it's really just flipping a switch in your amygdala. And this is what happens for most people on your planet also when you dream. Because if that switch didn't paralyze you, you would act out your dreams. This is what happens with sleepwalking. The amygdala switch hasn't gone on. You understand?
I do.
So, there can be many different kinds of experiences you may be having that can trip that switch or give you that paralytic or pinned down feeling.
Okay.
Sometimes it's actually important to do that when transferring from one dimension to another so that the particular frequency you are at when you are frozen, so to speak, will remain the frequency that you're at so that it can be more precisely calibrated what dimension you're going to, instead of simply randomly flying off and finding yourself you know not where.
Okay. Is there anything to be afraid of? 'Cause
No.
It brings up a lot
No.
of fear for me.
No. The only thing you are feeling is the idea that when that happens, again, going back to the survival instinct component of your physical mind, it's going into the idea of survival instinct. It's going into fight or flight mode. It's going into the idea that it's being annihilated, that it's being controlled in that sense. You understand?
Yes.
But there is really nothing to fear.
Okay.
Again, remember, anything you will ever discover in the unknown is just more of you.
Right.
Even if you are dealing sometimes with what you would consider to be other entities, other beings, more often than not, those other beings, those other entities are just other versions of you in a different reality. And you're interacting with yourself. So perhaps if you feel that, the way to dispel it would be to say, howdy there. I recognize you. You understand?
I do.
And have a little fun with it. Play with it a little bit and see if that will help you feel a little bit more relaxed. And a little bit more fluid. And a little bit more flexible. And a little bit more in control. Yes?
Yes.
Does that help you?
It does.
And?
I have one more question.
I know.
So in the process of detoxifying the body,
Yes.
I find that many people I help, there's a synthetic sort of orange kind of sulfur residue in the body that sometimes comes from different ant drugs.
Yes.
Do you have any suggestions for how to move this out? Because it's really hard.
What form of detoxification are you utilizing?
Raw foods and herbs.
All right. There's a number of places that have extremely powerful detoxification programs and regimens. We have suggested one that we guided the channel to discover to answer these kinds of questions. Is that what you have been using?
Yes.
All right. And you find that the residue remains?
Yes.
Have you done the full-length detoxification?
Yes, even with people who've been doing it for a long time.
Have you done the incurables program?
I feel like I'm doing something very similar to the Incurables program.
Such as?
A similar line as American Botanicals, very comprehensive
All right.
line of herbal formulas.
In what way are you still detecting the compound in the body?
The iris reading.
All right. One moment. Up the lemon juice content by a factor of 3 at least.
Okay.
That will help flush it out the rest of the way. It may have to go up to 10 times the amount, but somewhere between 3 and 10 times the lemon juice factor, it will help flush that out.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
At various spots on this planet, there seem to exist gravitational and spatial anomalies. I'm talking about places like the Santa Cruz Mystery Spot, the Oregon Vortex.
Yes.
I'm wondering if you can tell us what this is about.
Well, we mentioned this to some degree a little while ago about the idea that these electromagnetic fields on your planet are always in fluctuation and sometimes can give different values to the geomagnetic field, the electromagnetic field, especially when they overlap or reinforce each other. Look at it as resonance. Look at it as standing waves. Look at it as waves reinforcing or canceling each other, and you'll have a better understanding of why some of these anomalies exist. Because there are certain balance points, shall we say, on your planet, being that it is a kind of a crystalline form, certain nexus points, whereby these overlaps may be reinforced in higher degrees of probability than other places. And thus then you may find that some of these anomalies will happen in those places more likely than others. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Are these anomalies centered at some particular point, say under the ground, or some point that could be located via an experiment?
Yes. Some of your electromagnetic sensors are somewhat sensitive enough to pinpoint these things.
And can you tell us a little bit more about specifically the phenomena that are occurring in these spots? There seems to be an anti-gravity phenomenon, and some people claim they're time shift phenomena as well.
Well, in a sense there are, but remember, time shift phenomenology isn't really anything more than shifting by a greater degree to a parallel reality that's coexistent. Because there really is no such thing as time travel, because everything exists at once. So even when you think you're going into your past, it isn't your past. It's simply another parallel reality that looks like your past.
Okay.
Does that answer the first part?
Yes, it does.
All right.
Yes, it does.
And again, the idea is that there will be shifts in all of these ways. These portals, some of them are stronger than others. Some of them are more connected to other dimensions than others. One very strong portal on your planet is that which you refer to as the Bermuda Triangle. The idea here is that it is a great overlap portal, multidimensional overlap portal. And many different kinds of things can find their way through it. Those that know how to utilize it, those that know how to set up a resonance field in order to utilize it, can navigate in it to different dimensions. Those that may simply have the experience of happening to match a certain resonant frequency within the overall chords or tones of that field may simply find themselves shifted to another dimension without knowing how they got there or how to get back. Some of this can sometimes seem like time displacement. Some of it can sometimes seem like anti-gravity, levitational displacement. Sometimes it can seem like a few other kinds of things as well.
I see. So you're saying it's a sort of dimensional shift that can appear to manifest in various ways.
Yes, because there are always dimensional overlaps. And it depends upon the resonance and the overlapping harmonics of the different kinds of energy fields that determines exactly how that portal is experienced. It's like a switching track in a sense. It's always fluctuating in terms of its direction, in terms of what it's connected to, in terms of what it's anchored to a great degree. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Right.
It's really more like music than anything else. There are places where everything harmonizes and there are places where things are discordant. It's sort of like that, although that's an oversimplified definition. And sometimes it will change because these things are always fluctuating. When you can map them and understand them, you can learn to use them navigationally or in a variety of ways. You could, by finding the right frequency, in the Bermuda Triangle, create what might be kind of a crystalline looking glass device. This crystalline looking glass device, when pitched to the right frequency in that particular portal area, or a few other portals around your planet, would actually allow you to see images from parallel realities, including what you would think of as your past or your future, even though they are simultaneously concurrent. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, one moment. There will be a number of overlapping frequencies that would be required to be infused into this crystalline form in order for it to function that way, in order for it to randomly key itself into the vibrational resonance patterns of that portal in such a manner as to be guided or directed in the way that we are speaking of. You can begin with the earth vibration, not only of 7.5 to 7.8 cycles per second, but also the vibration of C sharp. And if you begin to explore there and have sensitive enough equipment with the right constitution of crystal window, and maybe even what you would call the liquid crystal windows, so to speak, might be capable of doing this if you fluctuate them at the right frequency, you'll begin to see forms forming, shadows forming in these windows at the proper pitch, at the proper resonance, that will be indications of consciousness expressing itself in other dimensions. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does this help you?
Yes. May I ask a related question?
Yes.
In Peru, there are various artifacts that appear to be gateways carved in blocks of solid stone.
Yes.
Can you tell us what these are about?
Well, there are different types. Some of them were to some degree what we're talking about, but in a different way. These gateways, when carved in a certain proportion out of a certain mineral, contained a certain resonance that allowed people who knew how to match that frequency to be able to become what you would call clairvoyant, to see into other realities. Clairsentient. Does this make sense to you?
Yes.
So in that sense, it was a similar idea, but it happened within the person, not within a device, other than the fact that the doorway itself surrounded them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that help you?
It does. May I ask, is there a particular modality that one could use to activate one of these devices?
If the device, you're talking about the doorways?
Yes.
If the device is still intact, or can be made to be intact, or a new device, a new doorway carved that contains all of the proper proportions and ratios, then again the idea of meditation in that space and also aligning with the gamma frequency can perhaps begin this process again. At the same time, there is another such device referred to in your language as the psychomantium. Are you familiar with this?
No, I'm not.
The psychomantium, in a sense, allows you to peer into the etheric realm of spirit, or to train you to become more sensitive to it, sitting in a room, perhaps a small room or a small space, with a mirror pointing at a blank wall so that you see nothing in the mirror at all but the blank wall. Not your reflection, not anything else. And having no light but a single candle. And then just gazing into the mirror. This is a form of scrying, a form of crystal gazing, but it is one that is profoundly connected to the vibrations within you that are connected to the spirit realm. So if you create the psychomantium in that sense, you can train yourself to see spirits in the mirror. That's another such permission slip device. Mm-hmm. All right?
All right, thank you.
Does this help you?
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias. Hello, Bashar.
And you good day.
Good day to you too. I have a couple questions.
Yes.
One of them is related with today's topic, the parallelogram.
Yes.
After I heard your speech, your explanation, I thought I understood. Then I was at the table having lunch with another friend.
Yes.
And then I realized that I was more confused than before.
Oh, congratulations.
Welcome to the team.
Oh,
So I'm going to tell you what kind of understood, and please help me to understand better.
Or you could simply tell us what you're confused about.
Well, it works both ways.
All right.
Okay, good. What I understood is this. It's some sort of a parallel life that works together and everything happens at the same time. And somehow we are at the center of it. And by the fact of focusing on something, we can shift that reality. And by that fact, instead of being parallel, then they intersect somewhere in the line.
I understand how you're describing this, but that doesn't negate the fact that there's still parallel realities. It's more like the idea that your consciousness shifts to another parallel reality. The consciousness itself is the intersection, not the parallel realities themselves.
Oh, that makes more sense. So
Yes,
then
it
the
does.
parallel part is not outside of us. It's more like, let's call it
The
inside of
structure
it.
never changes. Your perspective of it changes, and the perspective shift is the intersection between the parallel realities. Parallel realities themselves never intersect. They always are parallel.
So if following that thought, if I am living this kind of a parallel reality, I'm going to be living in a linear way the next, like 1 year from now, another parallel reality. So in both times, let's call it like that, in both times, I am living the same parallel reality.
No,
and
no,
it's
no, no,
me
no,
in
no,
the same
no, no,
consciousness?
no. You're
Great.
not living the same parallel reality billions of times per second. You're shifting. Parallel reality, parallel reality, parallel reality, parallel reality, billions of times per second. That's what creates the side effect you call time and space, is that your consciousness is shifting through all those parallel realities, which are each frozen like a snapshot. There's no movement, no time, no space, no experience in any parallel reality. It's what you're doing by shifting your consciousness through a series of parallel realities that creates the idea of a parallel reality timeline. But you're actually going like this. Even though it seems like you're going like this, you're actually going like this.
That's the frame that I couldn't get. So the center of it is our consciousness.
Yes, and it averages out and creates a sense of continuity to give you a sense of linearity, but it's anything but linear. You're all over the map.
And how does it work when I change my physical reality to the non-physical reality? Am I still living the
There is
parallel?
still some degree of that, but not as much. There are certain factors that drop away that are no longer necessary. Thus, then you can experience more parallel realities simultaneously.
So then the parallel reality is more related to this earth life rather than the ethereal life?
It doesn't have to be.
I know it doesn't have to be, but does it work like that?
It can, if that's your focus, yes.
So then I can be focused in this reality as well as in my non-physical reality. So then blending both of them, I'm going to be in both places at once, or
Well, you are in both places at once.
No, yeah, but when I realize when I don't exist anymore in this earthly life, so then I'm going to be just in one. I'm supposed to.
That's just your perspective. The body will always exist. The life will always exist because everything that exists always exists. You have to, again, look at this as frozen snapshots. If you take a photograph of yourself right now, and you put that photograph on a table.
Just like the lunch.
Yes, and then you take another photograph of yourself tomorrow and put that photograph on the table. Did the photograph from yesterday disappear? No, it's still on the table. All the photos exist at the same time. They don't go away. Ceasing to exist doesn't mean that the structure changes. What you're calling ceasing to exist is just changing your focus. But just because you've changed your focus to the non-physical photographs doesn't mean the physical photographs have gone away. They still exist. It's just that you're not focused through them anymore.
Interesting.
Make sense?
Now it makes more sense than
All right.
way before. That's good. Thank you for the explanation.
You're welcome.
I have another question that
Yes.
it might not be related with this.
Oh, all right.
We might. So anyway,
We
I
will see.
heard many times the concept of being grounded, right? When we are thinking something and we're trying to figure out what to do, the first call is you gotta be grounded, you gotta be smart, you gotta take it easy, and things like that.
Oh, all right.
So that makes sense, right? In any
In
kind.
some senses, yes.
All right. So kind of extrapolating this idea to the ethereal part, is it possible to have some sort of a ethereal grounding?
There always needs to be grounding so that you can bring the energy of your connection to the higher non-physical mind down to earth in order to have an experience, if that's where you want to focus it. Without the grounding part, you haven't made, in a sense, a connection. You haven't made a link. It's like electricity. If there is a short circuit, you're not going to have an effect. So you have to ground the wire and bring the energy through, all the way through the physical material idea, if that's where you want to experience the effect of it. But what you're doing is connecting and linking to the non-physical part, and you're, in a sense, having an experience that's a blending of the two. But you have to have the grounding side, otherwise it just remains an ethereal idea.
So then both groundings are connected. The earth life, the life that I'm living now,
yes,
gotta be grounded with the other part of me that is somewhere ethereal, non-physical, gotta be grounded. And by the fact of connecting or linking both of them, then the balance, at the end, I believe that is what is going to be, the balance in between both, call it both worlds, the earthy one and non-physical one,
yes,
tends to be balanced.
Yes.
Is that the whole concept?
Yes.
Kind of a complicated.
Not really, it's very simple. You have the higher mind, you have the physical mind, you have the template reality in the middle. When you allow yourself to function as a whole person, you are in balance with the physical mind and the higher mind, using the template level reality to shift yourself in the direction of your highest joy.
That sounds great. So
it's very simple.
So that means when I am in this earthly life, or whoever, I'm going to call it about myself,
yes, yes, yes,
not so grounded, am I, this is a question, am I producing something on my non-physical part that is also needs some ethereal grounding?
No. The definition of the higher mind is that it is already stable unto itself. It's giving guidance to the physical mind to stabilize it, to allow it to experience what it needs to experience in a certain way. Look at this analogy. The analogy we often give of a diver diving into the ocean. When you're standing on the boat, you're the higher mind. Now you want to project down into physical reality. So you put on the diving mask, you put on the wetsuit, you put on the air tanks, you put on the flippers. You go diving into the ocean. You dive into physical reality. You need the physical mind, the ego structure, the mask, in order to see clearly in that reality. And thus then you have grounded your experience as a higher mind in that reality. But the idea is to do it in a balanced way. You don't expect that diving mask to do anything but paint a clear picture for you. You don't give it any other tasks to do. You don't tell the mask to breathe for you. You don't tell the mask to push you through the water. That's the job of other things. So just letting the mask be the mask lets the mask do its job, and if the mask does its job, you have a very clear view under the ocean of all the fish that you would like to see. When you are done with that, you go back up to the boat, you take the mask off, you take the wetsuit off. That's like the idea of dying. You have no need anymore for that physical mind, but you still have the higher mind, which is, in a sense, from that perspective now, your whole identity. But because the higher mind has given itself the challenge, shall we say, the experience, the theme of exploration, to have this physical incarnation experience, it has created a duality within itself of the version of it that's on the boat and the version of it that's underwater. But both are there at the same time. Does that make sense?
Absolutely makes sense.
All right.
And I will hear the recordings to make sure that it's going to be there forever.
All right. That's your grounding way of balancing. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. It's easy to forget.
If you say so. Remember, that's just a belief that it's easy to forget. When you know something to be true, you never forget it, because knowing and action are synonymous. It becomes part of your behavior. It becomes part of your makeup. What you know to be true, you just do. You don't have to think about it. I ask you to walk across the room. You just walk across the room because you know you can. You don't go, well, let's see. I'm going to think, now, can I walk across? Well, I don't know if I believe I can walk across the... Well, let me think about that. No, you just do it because you know you can do it. That's the idea of the balance point. The higher mind and the physical mind in balance is what you know to be true, you just do. It's one thing, it's one act. Inseparable.
Yeah, I got that one right.
Oh, all right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, no more chance for another question. Is that the thank you bye, or
No
can I
more
have
chance?
Yeah, no more chance to ask you another simple question.
Are we rolling dice? Are you flipping a coin?
Sometimes I am.
Would you like to take a coin out and flip it?
I would like to ask the questions.
Oh, well, all right, then you have taken it out of the realm of chance.
That means yes?
That means yes.
Okay, good. This is out of this context. I had some sort of, I'm going to put it in these words, some sort of a dream. And if it's and I'm not so expert in colors and things like that, but in that particular dream,
Yes.
I saw some sort of a purple rays or lights, big beams of color,
Yes.
projecting out of let's call it in the space or somewhere.
Yes.
And they were kind of embracing with the red and making some sort of a swirls in the
Yes.
black space.
Yes.
And at the same time, in the middle of it, some white light joined to it.
Yes.
And it's kind of a confusing dream. And in the middle of it, I saw more like the birth of the planet.
Yes.
And it was the blending of not exactly, the color was the projection of the huge, giant amount of energy.
Yes.
And the result of it was the planet.
Yes.
I know it was a dream, but
Well, the
that
dream
can be
is simply
possible?
a memory of an experience on another level. So what you were experiencing was what you might call the etheric level and the causal level. The idea that everything that happens in physical reality has to have an energy version first, an energy template first. So you were looking at the pure raw energy states, the vibrational states that ultimately manifested in the physical template of your physical reality, of the planet.
thank you, Bashar.
Thank you. Pleasant dreams.
I had a soul portrait done of me not too long ago.
A soul portrait.
Yes. And while the artist was working on the portrait, she said she saw a diadem on my 5th and my 6th chakras and a receiving pod on my 7th.
All right.
Can you explain those to me and
Yes,
what that
easily.
means?
That's the way she interprets that kind of energy in her
She-
permission slip reality.
Well, she didn't see them on any other chakras.
So what?
Okay, so it's just the chakras that she was seeing? It's not like it was anything different? Because I'd never heard those words used in regard to placement on a chakra.
Every energy vortex has also associated with it a geometric crystalline pattern.
Okay,
She was simply sensitive to the idea of the geometric crystalline pattern versions of those energy centers.
Okay.
And therefore, that's the way they were perceived.
okay.
Yes?
Yes.
All right.
Another question. I was told by the same woman that I am very connected to the Hathors, which I had never heard of before that moment. And then someone mentioned them earlier.
Yes.
And then I was,
Maybe you two can commiserate.
and also that I am an incarnated fairy. Do you like
Well,
what
in a
does that?
sense, not exactly.
Okay, can you
There
explain
are
what
many
they mean?
beings that do have cross connections to the idea of nature spirits, the nature spirit dimension and realm, which does contain an expression of consciousness that you would recognize as the kind of ideas you're calling fairies and such.
Okay.
So you have cross connections to it, but again, please remember, the idea is that all incarnations exist simultaneously.
Right.
So reincarnation can be had as an experience, but it doesn't mean that you actually become one thing and then another. The idea is that you're cross-connecting to another simultaneous coexistence in the idea of the nature-spirit level of consciousness, and you're forming associations to that because it has relevance in this life for you in terms of expressing that kind of energy on your journey, on your path.
Okay.
That's some of the colors on your palette, in other words.
Okay. And one last question. I was talking with my friend Concha earlier, and we were talking about waking up in the morning and feeling restless, like my heart is fluttering, and like there's something I'm supposed to be doing, something that I'm missing, something that I'm forgetting. What does that come from?
That could come from any number of things. Are you forgetting something?
Oh, you were actually asking me.
Yes, I was actually asking a question.
I don't know. I've kind of always had this feeling of like there's something missing,
Something missing.
but I don't know what it is, and I don't. Does that make any
Alright.
sense?
You may be feeling the idea simply of the urge, the magnetic urge, the gravitational urge toward more of yourself. But if you relax into the trust that your life unfolds in perfect timing, that anxiety or antsiness may subside. You're not missing anything. Remember, all appointments, in a sense, have been made. The only way to miss an appointment is to spend time worrying that you're going to miss the appointment. Otherwise, the appointment can't be missed.
Okay.
So, if you feel like you're missing something, forgetting something, trust the way your life unfolds. Trust the synchronicity in your life as to how it's going to appear. It will always remind you of something you truly need to know. Always. And if you relax into that certainty, you will always get the reminder. But if you are concerned about it, if you focus on the concern, then you're going to block its ability to give you that information when you need it.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes, and I just remembered one other thing I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is my first time seeing you, so I don't know if this is like your thing or not. But
My thing.
I have been having a lot of problems with my shoulder, and someone did a healing thing on me, and she was
Yes.
saying that there is an energetic reason for the problem
There
that
always
I'm having.
is. And
But
there's also
she can-
sometimes physiological ones, but that
Yeah.
doesn't negate the idea that it usually starts in some way, shape, or form energetically.
Okay. Do you have
Are
any?
you carrying too much on your shoulders? Are you shouldering too much in life?
It's very possible. I've
Well-
been one of those people that is always doing too many different things at one
Well,
time.
there you go, and there
So-
comes your anxiety as well.
Okay.
Your antsiness.
Okay.
You think you don't have enough time,
Yeah. Exactly.
but you do. You have the perfect amount of time.
Okay.
Anything that you don't get done, when you are acting on your highest excitement, it is also the organizing principle of your life. And if you keep acting on the thing that excites you the most to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you can until you can take it no further, and then act on the next most exciting thing, and the next, and the next, and the next, in whatever order they present themselves to you synchronistically, whatever doesn't get done at the end of the day didn't need to be done.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much.
You really need to have more trust in the way your life unfolds. You
Yeah.
cannot go through life feeling like you're missing something, like you're not doing enough. Otherwise, anxiety and antsiness will be what you experience your life to be. Stop trying to shoulder so much. Stop putting so much weight on it, and you'll relax. Now, you can certainly take advantage of body workers to help you with this, but the energy must also change. Do you
Okay.
understand?
Yes, I do. Thank
So
you.
you don't need to shoulder so much. Whatever it is you truly get done will be sufficient unto the day. Yes?
Yes. Okay.
Remember, 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 you are an infinite, eternal being. What's your rush? You exist forever. If it's not done now, it will be done later.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
You can't really miss out, except by worrying that you'll miss out.
Okay.
That's the paradox, that's the irony. You follow?
I do. That makes me feel a lot better.
Why, thank you for choosing that path.
Thank you so much, Bashar.
You're welcome.
Good day, Bashar.
And you good day.
And good day to everyone here. Thank you all for co-creating with us. Are we still pitching? Is that process still happening where people tell the story that began last year? Is that completed? Do you remember that?
Yes, nothing is ever necessarily completed. If you feel that there is a necessity in pitching, you may if you wish.
I don't feel that it's necessary. I was just
Why did you bring it up?
Because you mentioned how statements open doorways, and that reminded me of the pitching because
Yes.
it's a series of statements.
Yes.
So
It was for the purpose of opening those doorways.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll open some doorways.
Oh, all right.
Does that sound fun? Yeah. Okay.
Of course.
So I have had the opportunity of several of my dreams coming true at the same time synchronistically, of working with a teacher, working in my community, and working with my friends to help generate actions of kindness.
All right.
And I kind of would like to hear your thoughts on the spiritual energy of actions of kindness.
Well, again, the idea is compassion. The idea is knowing that you are perfectly fine, that you are self-empowered, and that the greatest act of kindness is the reflection to others that they also can choose to be self-empowered, that they are aspects of the infinite, that they are unconditional love, that they are worthy and deserving of anything that they can imagine. This is the ultimate act of kindness, is to help reveal to them the potentiality and the possibility and the probability of who they truly are as a reflection of all that is. Because you are self-empowered enough to know that you will never be threatened by someone being their true self. Thus then, in that sense, you are free to help others by example also choose to be their true selves and know that all fits and all works together and all is harmonious when each and every individual is utterly and totally validated as that individual. Then there is true harmony.
Thank you. These actions have seemed to give a lubricating thank you, quality to group dynamics.
Yes, of course they will.
And so we've been experiencing how these actions of kindness in a growing group can create this dynamic of harmony.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing that. I was curious also about the spiritual energy of laughter.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. Your so-called Big Bang was actually a big joke. It was a big laugh. It was a big aha. It was a big realization, and the cosmic joke is that it was there all along, and yet until realized, it was inert.
So knock-knock jokes open doorways too?
Absolutely. Because when you're willing to ask who's there, you're open to receiving more information about yourself in the unknown.
Thank you.
So by all means, knock knock.
Who's there?
You.
You like the rainbow, all the colors, H-U-E? It's a synchronistic word with many meanings, I've noticed. You.
Yes.
I was also interested in the human beauty of the human experience of beauty. I've heard that it being very unique because we can have these other experiences of not beauty, that beauty stands out on this planet, and I was wondering if you could talk about that.
Well, it's really the idea of resonance in relationship. What you would call certain kinds of golden proportions that are representative of the overall resonant relationship of all that is to all its components. Does that make sense?
Yes. Is it unique, or do you experience...
I said all that is. In relationship, resonantly, proportionately to all its components. Thus, we are certainly one of the components of all that is. And thus, that relationship, in its very nature, is beauty.
Okay, that might take a while to sink in.
Oh, all right. Whatever amount of time it takes, I'm sure will be beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bashar, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Nania, we are closely approaching the time for your holotope experience. What remains for this in terms of questioners? All right. All right. You know how much we love threes. Number one.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
I'm so excited to see you.
So
or to
are
meet
we
you.
to interact with all of you.
Yay. So I just want to say thank you so much for giving me all the permission slips that have brought me to this.
I made all sorts of suggestions. You were the one that gave yourself the permission slip, so we thank you.
Oh. Well, I don't really have too many specific questions, I guess, but I just maybe wanted to ask you your interpretation of an experience I had.
Such as?
Well, it was during a very deep meditation, and
Yes.
I was basically dissolving what I saw in front of me into like particles
Yes.
and basically taking away any color, shape, or form and just seeing it as particles. And then I felt like if I could remove things that no longer needed to be there, things that were like maybe too dense, and I just like took an eraser and then I opened my eyes and everything was like way bigger.
Yes.
And so it was more kind of spread apart, and it was as if there was like no shadows
Yes, we
in
understand.
the room.
You
So I
took
think it was
yourself,
like a
yes.
higher or a lesser density.
Yes.
Is that?
Yes.
So if you're really super dense, is that like, that's kind of why you would want to live in a life that's not free-flowing just because it suits you better?
The idea of density is so that you can experience change. Remember, in timelessness, you don't experience change. The only way to experience discovery, newness, change is to have the experience of density that includes space and time.
Okay.
So that's how all that is experiences the process of becoming all that is instead of just being all that is.
Okay. Another thing I wanted to maybe ask is, so is the next kind of aspect of understanding time and space would be to kind of take away time so that you would understand all things happening at the exact same moment,
Well,
right?
in your physical reality, you will not necessarily continue to have an experience of all things happening at once.
Right.
But you can certainly stretch that a bit and experience more things happening at once, yes.
Okay.
In a synchronistic way.
So the next level kind of up from that, is that it, like I kind of see it as maybe like stories that we would all be little aspects.
You are already
Of the
stories.
gods,
You are
or,
telling
yeah.
yourself stories. You are living stories. The idea now on your planet is to change the story you're telling yourself.
Okay,
Self-empowering stories are now the vogue.
yeah, that sounds perfect.
Yes.
Um,
Instead of stories of tragedy and lament.
yes, totally.
Oh, woe is me.
Oh gosh.
Now it's, oh, wow, it's me.
So I watched lots of your just transmissions, and I hadn't ever come across anything on the counterparts or the hybrid children. So
Well,
I'm
then
wondering.
you haven't come across
I
those
just-
transmissions yet.
Yeah, exactly.
But they exist, and you can find them if you will ask the people that know where they are.
Well, I will. But
All
I
right.
wanted to ask you
Yes.
what you think about if I have any of those things. Or where, or how many, or whatever, because that sounds interesting. I just wanted to, yeah.
It may sound interesting, but at the moment, it's not relevant for us to give you that information.
Okay, fair enough. Also, I just want to ask you one personal kind of question. If I'm actually creating a documentary right now on the evolution of consciousness
Oh,
with
all
my
right.
boyfriend, and we were really hoping that maybe we could talk to you at some point and maybe interview you for it. So
We will see.
we'll see.
We will see.
Okay.
Synchronicity
Yes.
will make itself known.
Well, it's brought us to this point here.
Yes, it has.
So
And
we're
it
glad.
will take you further. But we will see.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Number 2.
Hello, Bashar.
And a good day to you.
I think I'll start with the question about, I guess my questions will be around how to get into a better contact with my true self and trusting it.
I already gave you the entire formula.
I'm sure you did.
Act on your highest excitement to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you can until you
Right.
can take it no further. with absolutely no assumption, insistence, or expectation as to what the outcome ought to be. And if you understand that if you have the expectation as to what the outcome ought to be, you're actually limiting the chances of experiencing something even greater than you could imagine, one would think that would be reason enough not to do that.
Thank you.
Is that not reason enough?
Can you say that last part again about reason?
If you
enough?
understand that putting conditions on the outcome is actually limiting what outcome could happen, one would think that you would stop putting conditions on that outcome, knowing that it actually limits you from what you could be experiencing. If you know that, wouldn't you stop doing that? Isn't that logical?
Yes.
Well, if you're not doing that, then you have to ask yourself, what is my motivational mechanism for doing things I say are not what I prefer to do? What belief system do I have attached that's making the thing I say I would prefer seem to be the thing I don't, and the thing I don't seem to be the thing I do? Because it's all about what you believe to be true that you go to and go away from. When you believe something's to your benefit, you always act in that direction. When you believe something is not to your benefit, you always move away from that. Always. Without fail. Without fail. So if you're not moving in the direction of what you know would be to your best benefit, that can only mean you have a belief system that is somehow making it appear to not be to your benefit. So find out what that belief is, let it go, and then it will appear to be to your benefit, the thing you prefer, and you'll move toward it. You'll act on it. You'll understand why you're doing that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Is this helping?
I think so.
Anything else?
I guess what's coming up is, what purpose is it serving me to continually insert doubt into my decision points or choice points?
Well, what are you getting out of it? Again, it's the same question.
Right.
You don't do things you don't believe you're getting some benefit from. And watch your definition. You know what the definition of doubt is from our point of view, yes?
I don't know if I do yet.
Doubt is not a lack of trust. Doubt is a 100% trust in a definition you don't prefer. So why would you trust in something you don't prefer? That's what doubt is. I trust this more than that. There is no such thing as a lack of trust. You're always trusting something to be true. If that were not so, you wouldn't have an experiential reality. So the question is not, how can I learn to trust? The question is, what am I putting my trust in? Something I don't prefer or something I do? Both will work. Both will be reinforced by creation. Both will be supported. It's up to you to decide what you prefer and find out why you would be putting your trust in something that you don't prefer. The only reason you would be doing that is because you're defining that thing as something that serves you better than the alternative.
Right.
Find out how you're defining it that way. You'll see that it's nonsensical and illogical when you finally bring that definition to light. And when you see that it's nonsensical, you'll let it go. You'll say, this makes no sense. And once it makes no sense, you'll stop doing it. Yes?
Yes. Thank you.
Does that sound reasonable?
Yes.
Does it sound sensible?
Yes.
All right. Does that make it seem doable?
Yes.
Are you sureable?
Almost.
Not so sureable?
It's a lot easier to hear it sitting down in the chair than standing at the mic for some
Why
reason.
do you define that as true?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
You don't have to answer me. You can go sit down again if you want.
I have one more question.
Yes. So you prefer to remain on the hook?
Yeah, I'll
All
change
right.
the topic though.
Oh, all right. She thinks she's changing the topic.
So I had an experience once where
Yes?
I had it, the question was posed, ask yourself about the mystery that you are.
Yes.
And I looked internally and to my left, and it seemed that there was this aperture that opened.
All right.
And all I could sense in this brief kind of moment was this very energized kind of kaleidoscope of colors that was spinning, and it was almost like it wanted to press out of this
Yes.
opening.
Yes. But it wasn't an opening.
I don't know what it was.
It was a mirror.
Okay.
You were looking at your true self. That's what you really are, all of you. Kaleidoscopic color, energy, consciousness, beautiful brilliance. That's what you are. Give in to it. It's what you really are. You were looking into a mirror. A similar thing will happen in the holotope meditation, because the holotope in some senses is like that kaleidoscopic image. You're looking at a mirror of your true self, your energy self, your consciousness self, your symbolic, reflective, true, vibrational, unconditionally beautiful, loving self. That's what that is. It's like, here, take a peek. This is really you. You looked into the truth of yourself. Yes?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 3.
Good day to all of you, Bashar.
And good day to all of you.
Are we of the same oversoul?
No.
Is there anyone in this room of the same oversoul?
As you?
Yes.
Yes.
Is my wife that person, Gautami?
One of them.
Can you explain that?
There are more than one expression of the same oversoul that you are connected to in the room with him.
Is one of them my wife, Gautami?
I already said yes.
Okay. And there's someone else.
There are others. I have now given you an Easter egg hunt.
On September 27th in 2007, in Abidjan, Brazil,
Yes.
in front of John of God,
Yes.
I received a work that I call the Divine Diamond.
Oh, all right. How exciting.
You were just talking about it.
Yes.
And our work is about connection in the Trinity. We work with the Trinity.
That's actually what creation expresses itself as. You say polarity, you say duality, but it's actually a trinity.
Exactly, exactly.
Because the idea is that there's always a balance point between the two poles.
Yes. In my work with my wife,
Yes.
being of the same oversoul,
Yes.
it gives us a wonderful and amazing ability to create an energy field.
Yes.
And
You have resonant reinforcement.
yes.
Yes.
I work also with tachyon energy, which I have found extremely supportive in making connections, opening communication. Do you have anything you could say about tachyon energy, the way it's held in glass, the way we can use it as a focal or communication?
It can be focused in glass. It's a little bit more stable in crystal.
Yes, silica.
And it's exceedingly stable in diamonds.
Okay. And do you find that it is supportive to our ability to access our multidimensionality and working sort of in that way?
Of course it can function as a permission slip for that, since that is how your mind and frequencies are oriented.
Yes, and it is like communicational as far as programmable. You can communicate with it. It's intelligent.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Everything is intelligence. Everything is consciousness.
Yeah.
You're using the idea of the matrix in that sense to structure information in a way that is both implantable and retrievable by the particular resonance that you yourself express. So it is in that sense simply a permission slip that is designed to resonate in harmony with the way you choose to express yourself, the way you do things energetically.
Yes. In the work that we do, the focus is on the oversoul connection.
Yes.
What I see the higher self as is sort of the communicational portal or
Yes.
way the oversoul would communicate.
Well, yes, it
And-
has to come down through the individual soul to the higher mind, which
the
then
higher
goes
mind.
through the template level reality to the physical mind. But yes,
The higher mind and the higher self are one and the same in most cases.
Generally speaking,
yes. Yes, okay. And I have been moved deeply by your latest commentaries
all right.
of sending, if we send energy out through our oversoul expressions, like through a tree, through the branches of our tree.
Yes.
It seems if we light up our tree, it gives us much greater ability, therefore, to focus our energy possibly on another oversoul expression or
Yes.
to do, yes.
Because you have illuminated the branches, and thus it
Yes.
makes it easier to see how it's connected to other things.
Yes, okay. I would like to ask, I had a dream once that there were three beings that said, see his light, he's Arturian. My only memory of that is that's the first planet that I actually ascended on.
It's not a planet.
What was the
It's an
Arturian?
interdimensional energy gate, an interdimensional energy state that is representative of a particular vibration that many souls are taking on or connecting to on Earth at this time, because the vibration is conducive to not forgetting as much of who you are in physical reality.
So there's a connection, obviously, with Arturia
Yes.
and myself. Okay. My wife seems to think she's connected with Venusia.
Again, this is not in your physical reality. This is something that exists in a different dimension.
Yes. And
But it is kind of a similar idea, but it's connected to the vibration of compassion, the vibration of understanding, and the vibration of love.
Yes. I would also just like to know, I hear a lot about the Pleiades, and I'm always curious about the connection between the Pleiades
Distant
and Syrian
Cousins, distant
system.
cousins,
And what are the Syrian...
offshoot of the ancient Anunnaki.
Yes, and the Syrians, how are they related to the Pleiadians?
There has been some mixture, but initially speaking, it was not a direct lineage. But on higher dimensional levels, there is a great connection. And non-physical levels, there is a great connection.
So they're completely, in some ways, independently evolved?
Yes,
Yes, okay.
but there is a connection
There is
on the non-physical level.
Was Christ from Sirius?
Christ was from Earth.
Was his oversoul connection, or was Sirius involved in some way?
Yes, there were serious vibrations and many other vibrations in what you call the Christ consciousness, which now is represented by the collective vibration of your entire planet, as
Yeah.
well as the Krishna spirit, the Buddha nature,
Yeah.
any such idea.
Yes. I'm very lucky to be actually right now at a retreat with Amrita Nandamayi.
All right, well, luck had nothing to do with it.
Yes, well, she is the embodiment of compassion and love. What would you say about her as a human, obviously, incarnation? Amma.
We would say she is beautiful in many different ways. The essence of beauty, of what we were talking about before. The proportional relationship to all that is. The resonant relationship to all that is.
Yes,
Of all of its parts,
yes.
in that sense.
I want to
There
thank-
will now need to be a shift in transmission.
Yes, thank you very much, Bashar.
We thank you.
Thank you.
At this timing, you may take a very short break. We will resume transmission for the holotope meditation.